Right now, I'm a little bit in my emotions because right now this fight is a little bit personal to me. Like I said, this is more than just a fight to be a pain in the ass to somebody. I sit out here and I look at these little kids, and I have kids of my own. I have 3. I have nieces, I have nephews. The world is just children. It's up to us. The fire was already ignited in each of one of us standing here right now. It's up to us to do what we have to do to secure a future, because if we don't, there's not going to be much left, if anything at all. I refuse to stand here and be a statistic for these people and these companies. I refuse. I've been a statistic all my life. I'm Native American, I'm half Passamaquoddy, I'm half Mi'kmaq. The East Coast has been my home all my life. These waters are all I know. I'm traveling back and forth. So when I say I've been a statistic long enough, being Native alone is just a statistic. Am I gonna go missing? Is somebody gonna be mean because I am who I am? I've had to deal with it all my life. But right now, that's past me. Because I sit here and I look at all of you as allies right now. You don't understand the justice that you're serving to this earth that you're standing on for indigenous people. Your allyship means more than you know. This isn't just a fight for us. This is a fight for these kids. And that's always going to be my message. Fight for these kids. They deserve the future that we as parents promised them. I refuse to stand here and let companies continue to destroy the necessity of our lives, the necessity of their lives. Because you know, while they're over there getting so hot digging up the ground, when they get parched, what are they sipping on? Water. Take every piece of strength that's ever been molded into your body and rise as tall and as far up as you can. Because there's strength in numbers. And if you haven't noticed, we're bringing these to their knees.
Thank you all for coming. I would like to say thank you to Carrie Labrador for her words. We know that this land belonged to the Massachusetts. We'll try this. And that now we host this land, but we hold this land. And that's what we're here for today. We're here to hold the land, to hold it with our feet, to hold it with our hearts, and to know that what Enbridge is doing is wrong. They do not belong here. They should not be digging up highly contaminated soil. I want to mention something that Margaret brought up this morning. A letter from a Courtney Rains that you should have a copy of if you get our emails, to the legislators. She's in the Department of Energy and Environment, and she said that the asbestos was of no concern to the state. So the state is not denying that the asbestos exists, they're just simply saying we don't care. So our question is to the laborers, to the police, even to their private security details, but more importantly to our residents. What's their concern going to be 5 years down the road when someone who has had no exposure to asbestos that they know of comes down with lung cancer, comes down with mesothelioma, and they're wondering, where the heck did I get that? Well, we're going to tell you where the heck you got it. You got it right there. And the state just told you it's of no concern. So we're going to continue to fight on that issue and every issue. The other day, someone asked me, well, what is it that you want? We want them to stop, pack up, go home, and leave us alone. We want them to realize that they are part of the problem and not part of the solution for climate change. We want them to turn around and become actual thinking, feeling human beings that understand the peril that they're putting every one of us, our children, our grandchildren in. That's what we want. I don't think we're going to get it, but that's okay because we're not going away. So I want to thank everyone who came down. I know there were people that came from all over the state to be here with us today. We are going to stay and hold the land. I believe we'll have a march over the bridge. All of this will be choreographed as we go along. But I want to bring up Professor Nathan Phillips. So a few of you might know Nathan. He's kind of famous. But Nathan undertook a 2-week hunger strike in order to shame the DEP out of their inaction, to tell them you need to if you're going to dig up this mess, you need to decontaminate the trucks the way you were supposed to from the beginning. They're still not doing that, by the way. Okay, so they've just been lying all along. You need to test for asbestos, which they have not done. And you need to establish the air quality monitor, temporary and permanent, whatever it is you're going to do. So Nathan undertook a hunger strike, a 2-week hunger strike, and we got some pushback. We got some things going with the DEP. We got a meeting. We got Commissioner Suberg to say, oh, you're getting the air quality monitor. But they are still lying about the asbestos. They are still lying about the decontamination. They are still lying about the release abatement plan. So those things are still happening, so we need to keep pushing. But I'd like to have Nathan speak, and let's have a big hand for Nathan.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Alice. And I'm doing double duty here, so I'm live streaming you all while I'm giving a few remarks. So I'm here as a scientist who could not look the other way when I saw what was happening here years ago, 5 years into this battle. And I've learned so much that's broadened my knowledge from the advocates like Alice, like Margaret, like Wendy, like Andrea, like all the rest who have educated me on so many of the problems that have been here. And then the legal experts, Mike Hayden and others who in the air quality appeals that we were in, opened my eyes to the injustice that our state, our governor, and our Department of Environmental Protection is perpetrating on the 3,100 kids that live in the blast zone and in harm's way, that they're actively putting in harm's way. So I'm a scientist, but I want to associate my comments with Carrie Labrador. I'm a parent, and I care about the kids that our state is allowing to be poisoned by Enbridge. And I care about the kids that are in Nova Scotia, the gas of which, if it were coming through Weymouth, would poison the waters that they depend on. And so it's heartbreaking to watch what's going on in front of our very eyes here and to feel powerless. But when I see you all here, I feel power in our numbers. And I want to just say that we've seen that there's never any stage at which toxic infrastructure cannot be taken down. We saw it in Fall River just a year ago when $600 million cooling towers were imploded only 4 years after they were erected. So this compressor station, no matter what stage it's at, even if it gets built, we're not going away. We're going to shut it down. Can you say that with me? Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Can we get some more people behind them so when they're being photographed it looks like
Thank you,
we are who
Nathan.
we are?
And Nathan brings up something very, very important, that it's not just about Weymouth. We're all Weymouth. That this gas from Denton, Texas, to the waters of the Shubenacadie River in Nova Scotia is causing destruction everywhere it goes. The pipelines, the compressor stations, and all of those things. So we need to hold that and know that we are all Weymouth. From Denton, Texas to Nova Scotia, we are all Weymouth. So I'd also like to bring up Councillor Becky Haw. Becky has been on the board of fracks for 5 years, and Becky has been, I always say she's a little bit like a dog with a bone. When it comes to research and all of the information that Becky has been able to supply, and her ability to get the town council to pass resolutions and things like that has been absolutely fantastic. So, Becky.
Hey, thank you everyone for coming out today. I've been a town councilor here in Weymouth for 6 years, and for over 5 of those, we've been battling this compressor station. I just want to quickly acknowledge a few other local officials. Brad Kroll from the Quincy City Council is here. Pascal Berga, who's the District 1 town councilor in Weymouth. Carrie Palazzo from the Weymouth School Committee is here. And we have Mary Jordan Roy from Representative Murphy's office. And I want to say really quickly, I ran to be a town councilor here in Weymouth because I was an active mother. I love Weymouth. I love living here. And I never in a million years thought I'd be in the middle of battling a Fortune 500 energy company. And pretty much from day one, Alice, Frax, everybody, we have been on them. We have packed auditoriums of public hearings. We have submitted thousands upon thousands of comments every step of the way for over 5 years now. We have the city of Quincy doing the same thing, Braintree, Hingham. And now I look out here, are there people from all over the state? We have Worcester here, we have West Roxbury. And we can't thank you enough on the local level for coming out to support not only this local issue, but a regional issue and honestly an international issue here with climate change and everything of that sorts. And I just want to thank you all very much. I have seen us. We have done every single thing by the book. We have read the laws. We have protested. We have written comments. And we've tried to make our voices heard. And our voices have been ignored by those in charge. But we're not giving up. We're out here today. We're going to be out there tomorrow. And we're going to be out there until this thing stops and we get our land back. Thank you very much. And see you out there.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
Shut it down!
Thank you so much. Now I'm going to ask for Keith or Laura, if one of the two of you can come up here, because I don't know where you are. There's Keith. So I'm going to make Keith, Kiki, tell us what it is that we're going to be doing next.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming out today. It's beautiful, it's windy, but it's gorgeous seeing everybody out here. We're gonna be a little bit fluid today, you know. We're gonna have a little marching, we're gonna have some chanting. We have Mark here to lead us in some chants, which is exciting. But basically, I think the next step from here is to get ourselves all energized, maybe have a chant that we can start singing. We have the state police here joining us. Okay, well, in any event, we're gonna move over with our energy and our chanting and our flags and our puppets and everything. We're gonna march over to our little free speech zone behind the barricades over there, and we're just gonna keep rallying there. And then for a little while, we'll be over there, and then I guess at some point we're gonna march on up to the bridge with our signs and banners and everything like that. No pressure, but you know, if in the past, folks have been able to walk into the street kind of en masse, you know, and the police will issue us warnings. You have to get out of the street. You have to get out of the street. But they've let everybody who's walked into the street get out of the street. So you know, I'm not telling anyone to do this at all whatsoever. But like, you know, I'm just saying, if like a truck is coming, and you know, and like there was a whole bunch of people in the street, the truck would have to stop. So I'm just saying, I'm really not telling anyone to do that, and I really like actually seriously don't want anyone to go beyond their own comfort zone, you know. But just saying, these are our streets. They are occupied Massachusetts nation land and streets. So I'm just saying, you know, let's voice our power. Let's do what we got to do to stop the compressor station. But again, just we're playing it by ear. We're going to be fluid. But if we do see a truck coming, let's leave it at that. But yeah, so does Mark want to come up and get us started with the chanting, and then we can march together? I think what we'll probably do is just cross the street right here. We're not going to all flood the street right now. We're going to march just over there, so we'll be facing the compressor station site, and we'll be rallying there for a little bit, and then kind of play it by ear and maybe go up on the bridge. We also have some indigenous media here today. We're so grateful to have folks come out from the plains, travel thousands of miles to make a documentary about our ongoing struggle, and to show Enbridge and really to put it out there across Turtle Island, across the world, that Weymouth is fighting in solidarity with all the other fights that are happening right now. We see the Wet'suwet'en and all the indigenous folks shutting down Canada completely. So, you know, Enbridge, they're same shit. Canadian company trying to export gas off the Atlantic coast, you know, so we're all trying to shut it all down together. But if you can, please donate to support this action and to support the media efforts that we're putting in. I mean, it all takes time, effort, and, you know, we don't mind putting that in, but when it comes to money, you know, we can't just goodwill money. So I think there's a donation jar somewhere over there. So, you know, if folks want to just make a donation, that would be great. Or if you can write a check or have a Venmo, find the other Kiki. The other Kiki has the Venmo and check information is over there. Okay, that's about it. Now I'm going to welcome Mark up to get us going with the chant to get us all energized, and then we'll head over to the site. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiki. So we're gonna sing a song together. Would y'all like to sing a little bit? Is that cool? Some of y'all know the song already. We'll do that one too. Some of y'all know the song already, so you can help me out with it. But it's gonna go like this: pipelines and frack gas, not the power that we. Well, that's too high. Pipelines and frack gas, not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun, the earth gives them for free. Let's take that one line at a time, okay? So first we'll start with pipelines and frack gas. Pipelines and frack gas. Not the power that we need. Not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun. Water, wind, and sun. The earth gives them for free. The earth gives them for free. Let's put all that together. 2, 3, 4. Pipelines and frack gas. Not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun. The earth gives them for free. One more time. Pipelines and frack gas. Not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun. The earth gives them for free. There's a second verse, and I think you're gonna like this one. It goes like this. Stop Enbridge now! Stop Enbridge now! We're gonna shut this compressor station down. Stop Enbridge now! Stop Enbridge now! We're gonna shut this compressor station down. Do y'all think you'll have that? Let's do the whole thing together once. 2, 3, 4. Pipelines and frack gas. Not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun. The earth gives them for free. One more time. Pipelines and frack gas. Not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun. The earth gives them for free. Stop Enbridge! Stop Enbridge now! Stop Enbridge now! We're gonna shut this compressor station down. Stop Enbridge now! Stop Enbridge now! We're gonna shut this compressor station down. Y'all sound so beautiful. We'll sing that together. We'll sing a lot more together. Thank you very much. Over.
So we'll chant. So Kiki's saying we're going to chant this song, and we're going to march. We're going to follow the path over to the other side, so we can be underneath the bridge on the other side. So we're going to cross the street, and we're going to sing. So we're going to have Mark. We're going to have Mark lead us in song.
Sounds good. Ready, y'all? Yeah. Up loud.
Oh,
I'm getting you one. So we're going that way? Pipelines and frack gas, not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun. Stop Enbridge now. We're gonna shut this compressor station down.
1. We are the people. 2. We love each other. 3. We will not let you wreck our planet. Climate justice! Now!
There's no truck here. Why do they have to open the gate? Oh, I'm not out here. I'm sorry.
All right.
Please.
Back up behind that side, please.
There's a sign. Okay?
Climate justice! Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! 1. We are the people. 2. We love each other. 3. We will not let you wreck our planet.
Are you gonna go, sir?
I'm going. I'm
Get
going.
behind the barrier.
I'm going,
You just
I'm
gotta
going.
let me know.
Hey, we got Mike. We got a couple.
pipelines and frack gas, not the power that we need. Water, wind, and sun, the earth gives them for free. Stop Enbridge! Stop Enbridge now! Stop Enbridge now! We're gonna shut this compressor station down. Stop Enbridge now! Stop Enbridge now! We're gonna shut this compressor station down. Y'all sound so beautiful. We'll sing that together. We'll sing a lot more together. Thank you very much.
Dozens of people on the South Shore showed up to a construction site to protest what will become a natural gas compressor station.
The protesters disrupted the construction of that station. NBC 10's Abby Nisgoda joins us now live from the scene with the latest on this. Abby.
Yeah, guys, the signs behind me say no trespassing, but this is actually the second protest to end with arrests since construction started at this compressor station. And those fighting against this project say it might not be the last. On a mission to stop a natural gas compressor station from going up in Weymouth, Fore River residents say they'll stop at nothing.
We're ramping it up. We're escalating our actions in order to stop that.
You can see evidence of that in this photo when one protester chained himself to a piece of equipment this afternoon to try and stall construction. Organizers say as a result, about a half dozen of them were arrested, but they're not apologizing.
Because this potentially explosive compressor station that will be spewing more toxins into our already toxic air needs to stop.
The whole thing started 5 years ago when the Canadian company Enbridge announced plans to turn this site into a compressor station. Despite concerns that it threatens the health and safety of those who live nearby, the company got the final go-ahead from federal regulators last year. Still, those against it are trying to fight it and asking the state to step in.
Talk to us, Governor Baker. We've been trying to connect with Governor Baker for 5 years. The governor is not addressing our people.
When we asked the governor about it today, this is what he had to say.
I said all along that when it comes to ensuring that the issues that are raised by the local community there and by the mayor, particularly with respect to air quality and the process generally, we'll do everything we can to respond to those, and we have.
A state study did find cancer-causing chemicals in the ground in the area, but claimed the toxins didn't pose a risk to anyone.
Enbridge, go home! Enbridge, go home!
Protesters say they don't accept that conclusion, and they'll continue to fight this compressor station for as long as it takes.
It's just the beginning.
It's the beginning of people standing up for our democracy. I mean, it's wrong, and it's against the will of the people.
And as their fight continues, the state has installed an air monitoring station in this area to make sure the site behind me is meeting environmental requirements. That's the latest here live in Weymouth tonight. I'm Abby Nisgoda, NBC 10 Boston.